Hi and welcome back. I'm gonna have another special treat for you today. As you might have guessed from the intro, today we're playing another space opera game, but of a completely different kind, to Twilight Imperium. This is Xia, Legends of a Drift System, which is a sandbox spaceship captain game where you can go anywhere you want and do whatever you like, as long as you have the energy to do it. So we're gonna set up and find out how it plays. Okay, we're almost ready to begin, but I want to go over a few house rules because it appears that this game is best when you implement certain house rules. So a few house rules we're playing with is if you are rolling a movement dice, such as a d6, you're rolling an extra d6 and you pick the highest result. If you're rolling a d8, you get to add a d6 and you choose the highest result. And if you're rolling a d12, then you get to roll a d12 and a d8 and you pick the higher of the two dice for movement. That's one house rule. The other house rule is that we are randomizing kind of what different planets. Okay, there aren't any actual planets here. Our galaxy is very crappy at the moment. But we're randomizing kind of the goods that different planets want and sell. And believe we're also randomized all the ship draws, so everyone started with a random ship rather than picking a ship. And finally, an interesting rule proposed by Captain Byron is that whenever you actually complete a title in this game, and titles are like very difficult kind of achievements or accomplishments you can do, whenever you achieve a title, everyone else must refer to you by that title for the rest of the game. If they don't, they get a bounty. So it should be quite interesting, and it's going to be kind of a role-playing experience for, I hope. And we are playing until 10 points. Okay, and we're ready to begin. Here's our starting galaxy, starting system. Looks pretty barren, only one planet, but there are two gates, and look at those ships. Those ships are amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna be captain of the Easy Tiger, so we're gonna go pretty fast. Byron over here, he's going to be the captain of the Numerator, and he's also going pretty fast. And actually, his ship has a special thing, afterburners, so he can go very fast. Next, we're gonna come over here to AK, who is the captain of the Puddle Jumper. And he's focusing on kind of a balance. You know, you got the basic engines, basic shields, play it safe, but he is the Puddle Jumper. And finally, we've got Hamad, who is playing the captain of the Persistent Memory. I have no idea what it does.
I have a harpoon. I can stick to people.
There you go. He can like harpoon people. I actually lied. We have one more player I completely forgot about. and that would be Kevin, who is the captain of the sneaky Ghost Stalker that can sneak past the planetary shields, provided he can roll well enough. And with that, we are ready to begin. So first 2 turns went by. We're gonna just quickly recount what each ship did. The Ghost Stalker discovered the sun, Zaya. Didn't jump into it, fortunately for him. Went back and picked up some goods, and that was pretty much his turn. Then the what's your ship called?
Persistent memory.
The persistent memory.
Picked up 2 goods.
Yeah, picked up 2 goods, flew around the debris field. Didn't really pick up much of anything.
Also, research data.
Oh yeah, picked up the mission to deliver some research data, and that was that. Then the puddle jumper
As exploring the galaxy.
has been exploring the galaxy and flew into a nebula and got stuck, ran out of energy, and yeah, was
That would be fine, you know.
I'm sure he would have been fine, but fortunately there was another ship there to lend assistance. Meanwhile, the numerator actually managed to complete a mission, or almost complete a mission, by stealing some valuable research data from the merchant ship, and he's now basically flying to try and return this data. Is that right? Yeah. And finally, the Easy Tiger had a really shitty turn when he took 7 damage flying into a planetary shield of the Azure system. Had to go back to the nearest planet to repair the damage, but then flew through this this warp gate, whatever you call it here, this gate here, and lent some assistance to the puddle jumper, and this is where the victory points are at this point. So this is 2 turns later. Pretty eventful. Pretty eventful couple of turns. The Ghost Stalker managed to steal some valuable data from the puddle jumper and completed his mission, and then hightailed it back to the planet to recharge. Meanwhile, the persistent memory. Thank you. It's kind of an interesting name, but kind of hard to remember. The persistent memory flew into an asteroid somewhere over here.
Actually, it was in...
Oh, it was a debris. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He flew into some debris, got destroyed on the roll of it too. Then the respawn got towed around by the puddle jumper, which is sitting pretty over here. And then it's just kind of trying to get back where he was in the where he was originally going. Sorry. Oh yeah, and he completed the mission actually. Meanwhile, the puddle jumper is busy exploring like most of the galaxy. So, for example, I think like basically all of this and this and this and this and this were all revealed by the puddle jumper, which is quite to explore. But he also revealed the smuggler's den. So we've got the what do you call it? The cell sword on the board now. So, but no one's controlling them yet. Meanwhile, over here, the Kembler, or something like that, stole some valuable data from the Mac Horror, which is sitting over here. And the Mac Horror actually has a bounty now because, well, I got a little nervous when the Kembler flew a little too close to me, and so I opened fire preemptively, scoring only 1 damage and getting myself a bounty in the process. And that concludes the the last 2 turns. And actually, there's only 2 tiles left to uncover. So soon, all of Zaya will be revealed. Uh, 2 turns later, and all of Zaya is revealed, with the remaining systems being found over there. We've also finally found the Enforcer and the Scoundrel? Yeah, Scoundrel. The Ghost Stalker. What did the Ghost Stalker do this round?
I became a peace envoy.
Yeah.
And negotiated with the independent race that live in the keep, and picked up 5,000 credits, and jumped over to Kemplar 2, revealed Kemplar 2, and got a victory point and
Alright.
my 5,000 credits.
Cool. And I believe Hamad has upgraded to Occam's Razor. So there it is, sitting there, looking pretty. And yeah, and he's going for that outpost over there to finish a mission.
To meet a woman in a hot pink lab coat.
There you go. To meet a woman in a hot pink lab coat, kinky.
Let's see.
Meanwhile, I believe AK has also upgraded his ship to Lone Drifter. And I think it's just selling goods basically.
Actually, I've been doing a couple of missions. Last mission, I picked up people, sent them to New Damascus. I've got a new mission, which is interesting, but I haven't activated yet. It's going to be interesting because me and Byron are basically trying to vie for a win.
And there you go. And Byron, as the captain of the Manchester, which you just got a couple of turns ago, what have you been up to?
I managed to get a bounty off a unsuspecting ship.
That's right. He did blow up.
And
He did blow up Kevin's old ghost stalker.
That did happen.
Yeah, that
And
did
I
happen.
decided to upgrade to the Manchester,
The man.
Yeah.
which is a useless warship.
There you have it. And as for me,
Technically, cargo.
yeah, I took some damage when I ran into the planetary shield of the lawful Lunari system, and had to jettison my cargo, and I took a couple damage, and that has been the last 2 turns. You rode the Prowler like a horse to victory. Fame has washed up on your shore and crowned you with power. In the halls of the officials of Kempler 2, bards are writing ballads of your deeds. You use your newfound fame to better the galaxy. That's totally not me. 2 bounties. When your mortal frame has long since left this existence, your name and deeds will live on. Yeah, that's a victory. Thank you. This is how the Galaxy or Zaya system stands at the end of the game. What happened was an epic standoff at Smuggler's Den between Hamad and myself when I blew up and rammed Hamad's ship, and then I basically flew around to Outpost 338. I had a bounty. I had basically a mission to assassinate Hamad since almost the beginning of the game, and I was able to complete that objective and then immediately claim the next objective, which was to go through the shields of Lunari and basically negotiate a peace treaty. Don't know how that makes any sense, but it did. So at the end of the game, the track essentially stood as follows. I think only one person had actually a tier 3 ship, which was the rather lackluster Manchester.
It's not
Yeah.
a great ship.
So I think overall, pretty enjoyable game if it wasn't for the really, really long downtime. And of course, many people are not going to like the enormous amount of RNG, of random number generation in this game, where, as Byron would tell you, one single terrible roll stands between you and achieving a basically like
But was
an
it-
overwhelming
was it a-
victory.
Was it a fame point?
Sorry?
Was it a
Was it a fame point? Let's find out.
Oh no.
It was just money.
Let's
Still,
see, load.
yeah. So if you're okay with dice and cards determining how the game is going to fall out, yeah, you're probably gonna like this game. And if you like games that are really thematic, this could also be a game for you. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't like waiting 25 minutes for your turn,
That is a problem.
yeah, then this game can definitely be problematic.
If you can play a filler game in the time it takes to take the next turn, then it's a problem.
That is true. You could probably you could play a couple of games of Love Letter
Or Coup.
or Coup
Yeah.
with your neighbor. But overall, this is Zaya. Beautiful looking game, very thematic. Obviously, a lot of love and care went into it, and we actually have an expansion on the way.
Yep, it should
Yeah.
be arriving soon.
And we're gonna play another game with expansion and see if it's any better. Thank you for watching.